Assalamualaikum and good morning. I am Muhammad AMIRUL bin AHMAD, AA16175, SV from Dr. Mir Sujaul Islam, and here is my research title, which is Performance of Typha Angustifolia in Phytoremediation Technique for Steel Industrial Wastewater Treatment. First of all, I will go to the introduction first, which is it consists of 3 points, which is steel industrial wastewater, whereas industrial area which be developed normally lead to wastewater polluted that may affect the water nearby. Second is phytoremediation technique, which I have been used in my research article, and also for my research, the natural or artificial wetland have significant limit with regard to wastewater treatment or renovation, and also the removal of contaminant and toxic pollutant, which is the release untreated and insufficiently treated wastewater give an incredible worry with possible of health risk. Next, we will go to problem statement, which is the water contaminated by industrial waste can be caused various ailment through ingestion or physical contact. The property and environment likewise genuinely influenced by the industrial waste containing toxic heavy metal. And next, the activity in steel industrial lead the wastewater consistently contribute an issue to nature and also the society more to water pollution. The objective of my research is to identify the level of pollutant containing in steel industrial wastewater of Gebeng Industrial Estate, and also to improve the efficiency of pollution prevention by phytoremediation technique using Typha Angustifolia red bed plant. Okay, the scope of the study I choose is at Gebeng Industrial Estate, Kuantan, Pahang, at the steel industrial factory. It decides the diverse of effluent quality from the steel industrial wastewater of Gebeng Industrial Estate and determine the quality of the sample after phytoremediation procedure by utilizing Typha Angustifolia for several weeks. I choose the literature review authored by Tyler E. Ulrich, L. Luty, C. Raymond, P. Zuckberg at 2014, which is the research title is about compendium of sanitation system and technology. The outcome will show about wastewater is a side effect of residential, business or horticultural activities which contain physical concoction and natural poison. Next, I will go to the methodology, which is the phytoremediation is considered extremely to be the process that can degrade environmental pollutant to prevent pollution or waste treatment as well as for cleaning, contamination and degradation of hazardous substance. The treating of wastewater from steel industrial at Gebeng Industrial Estate, Kuantan, Pahang, which is the wetland is constructed using plastic containers. And there is 8 phases carried out to improve the efficiency of pollution prevention by phytoremediation technique. Here is the research project that I have been conduct to finish up the research about my title. Firstly is the selecting of title and study area, collecting information, selecting material, there is collection of wastewater and also collection of plant. And then we will go to the experimental setup, which is I have set up for 4 sample of it. First sample is a control sample such as 100 of wastewater and there is no plant on it. And second sample is 100 wastewater plus to 0 distilled water plus plant. Third sample is on 75 wastewater plus to 25 distilled water plus plant. And the fourth sample is 50% wastewater plus to 50% distilled water and plus plant. And then it will conduct to experimental work and take the data collection and do the removal efficiency calculation and also do the recommendation and calculation. Okay, for the sample collection, the collection of wastewater are collected at the steel industrial wastewater at Gebeng Industrial Estate. The wastewater also will be tested at environmental lab at University Malaysia Pahang. The wastewater also will be collected for 50 liter for 4 sample containing of for experimental work. The collection of plant of aquatic plant of Typha Angustifolia will be collected, and I have been collected it at swamp at Kampung Pulau Pasir Badang, Kuantan. The plant will be collected also with the root, as we know the root is really function to remove the toxic contaminant and also the heavy metal. The plant will be preserved in fully distilled water first before the experimental testing. The quantity of the plant that will be collected is 20 numbers of plant, because we put the one sample, we put about 6 numbers of plant. We go also for the experimental setup, which is the setup of the experimental containing wastewater treatment. The model of wetland are set up in plastic container for 4 different samples. The top cover of the container will cover with semi-transparent to allow the sunlight and prevent the rain water from changing the concentration of contaminant. Okay, the experiment also will be carried out for 3 weeks, such as from week 0, week 1 and week 2. The sample have been conducted for 4 samples. The sample 1 is 100% wastewater to control. There is no plant on it. Sample 2 is 100 wastewater plus plant. Sample 3 is 75 wastewater plus 225 distilled water plus plant. And also sample 4, 50% wastewater, 50% distilled water and plant. Okay, next we will go to parameter involved, such as the parameter involved is for total suspended solid TSS, biochemical oxygen demand BOD, chemical oxygen demand COD, turbidity, pH, ammonia, nitrogen, and also the selected heavy metal such as cadmium, copper, and also iron. Okay, next the removal efficiency. This is because we have calculated the percentage removal of each of the parameter, and we will know that the result and discussion here. For the result and discussion, such as for the turbidity first. From the week 0, it come the nearest number of turbidity contained on the sample. But on week 1, there is a few of the reducing from the 100% of control, 100% and 75%. And also for the week 2, there is more highly, we can see that the removal with plant of Typha Angustifolia is quite higher than without the plant of phytoremediation technique. Okay, as well as ammonia nitrogen, as we see on week 2, there is 100% removing of the ammonia nitrogen on sample of 75% and also 50% wastewater. Okay, next we will go to pH value. As we can see on week 0, there is a nearly same for the result, and also for the week 2, there is also find a nearly same as the result, unless for the 100% of wastewater. But all of the 4 samples seem to be there is no acidic or alkali on it. Okay, next we will go to total suspended solid result. It's found to be a clean water for the 4 sample of it, because the TSS is find the weight of the dirty on filter paper. Okay, next we will go for the biochemical oxygen demand. As we can see, about nearest to the 80% will remove on week 2, rather than the sample with no plant, which is the control sample. There is only 50.55% of percentage of removal on week 2. Next, we also go to the chemical oxygen demand. The highest percentage of removal still on the sample that contain of plant, which is 100% of wastewater, 70. Next, we will go to the result of heavy metal that contain of copper, iron and cadmium. Firstly, we will go to copper. On the week 2, it's higher more than on control, because the control contain about zero copper, and it seems to be the percentage of removal of 100%. Next, we will go to the iron. We can see that the removal of the iron without plan of Typha Angustifolia, we can see that the control 1 percentage removal is only nearest to 40, about 35 or 34. But the percentage of the removal for the sample that contains a plant of Typha Angustifolia in phytoremediation technique is up to 80% above. Okay, we will go to the cadmium. On week 2, there is the highest number of reducing of cadmium is seen on 50% wastewater plus to 50% distilled water, which is on 100% removing percentage of removal. Next, we will go to the conclusion. The conclusion of my research is I able to identify the level of pollutant contained in steel industrial wastewater of Gebeng Industrial Estate, and also it show that the phytoremediation technique of using Typha Angustifolia red bed plant can improve the efficiency of the pollution prevention, since the number of reducing of percentage of removal is higher when we use the sample with the Typha Angustifolia rather than the control sample. Okay, I think that's all from my research that I have been done before, and thank you.